We couldn't go a week without a red zone.
That's
I
true.
mean, come on.
It has a name now. We've worked so hard for this.
So we had to scramble quick, but we got Connor in here to do the Wednesday show. Connor McQueen starts this edition with us on Studio 12. But, I mean, we panicked when there would be no Friday show. That's your day. And, I mean, whatever we could do to get you in here, we had to do it. So thanks for –
the show must go on.
Yeah, thanks for –
the show has to go on.
Thanks for just putting a chip in the schedule there and joining us for at least the Wednesday edition.
We've got free time laying all around, so
he's got nothing going.
It's easy to piece together sometimes.
See, your past academic success has afforded you some free time this semester,
true,
I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, thanks.
Connor McQueen, the Red Zone. We go with it on this Wednesday edition as we will not air on Friday. So as we look back, 3 straight on the road. You go to Auburn, you win it, you get back about 3 a.m. You go to Arlington and beat Arkansas, you get back about 3 a.m. And lo and behold, now it's the longest road trip we can take in the SEC. You go to South Carolina and you grind it out against them and win it. Now that it's in your rear view mirror, just what's your take on that road trip? Was it as daunting as you thought it would be before entering it?
I think going into it, we kind of didn't necessarily look at it as a road trip in that, I guess on the schedule it says we're the home team against Arkansas.
Yeah, that's true.
At the beginning of the season when you're looking at that, you don't really notice that, hey, we're going to be on the road for 3 straight weeks, and then we're going to have to come back home and play Tennessee to where, after that long, grueling road trip, it's one more until a bye week. So it's everything where it's all in this week, and, we get a little bit of time off after this.
Mm-hmm. That is nice.
Oh, definitely.
And I say, it's the road trip. It's not like the gauntlet ends because the next 2 opponents are Tennessee and Alabama. So it's not as if we just take a big rest from here till November.
Right. Yeah. I think that bye week it's positioned perfectly for us in terms of, it's 6 games into the season, and we've got 6 games after that to where it's right in the middle. So it's it's nice that we get that break, so we get some time off, get some guys healthy, have some time to recover, and build up our strength and get some extra game planning in going forward.
Mm-hmm. Did you have to walk out on the field back here to kind of remember what it looked like? It's it's been a while. It's been almost a month.
Walking out of the facility yesterday, walking to the parking lot, I did look out there, and I was like, There's no chalk on the field yet, but that grass is nice and green, so it looks nice out there. I'm ready to get back on the
had some rest.
The grass didn't die in the 3 weeks that we took off.
They kept it up.
They still do a pretty good job out there even when we're not here.
When you play on the road, you guys never take Kyle Field. You never take the 12th man for granted. But when you play on the road, doesn't it make you appreciate it that much more?
Oh, without a doubt. Nothing against all the other great SEC stadiums, but there really is nothing like Kyle Field, and that it really is, and it is the 12th man. It is the additional player on the field to where it is causing opposing teams to make, errors that they usually normally wouldn't make it if they're at home and things like that. We do make some uncharacteristic errors at times whenever we're on the road, but, you never see that really come to fruition in such a magnitude that it does in Kyle Field, to where it really is affecting the other team's gameplay.
And going back to this most recent contest, you guys go to Columbia and get the win, did what you needed to do to stay undefeated. But it seemed to me like South Carolina was just pesky enough to not let you run away with it. What was your take on the game as you guys win at 24-13?
And with them scoring on the first play of the game, every away stadium is going to have energy, and it's going to be rocking once the game starts. And that's why we enjoy our defense. We like our defense to go out there and set the tone, get a good stop. But we missed a couple tackles, and they break a long run for a touchdown on the first play of the game, and that just ramps that crowd up even more to where that crowd was riled up and going. Even though we scored right after that, they were rolling, and they were pretty loud throughout the remainder of the first half to where that gave them the momentum going forward. But it's games like that to where you don't necessarily play your best, but it's always great to have those grinder games where it's kind of a grueling match, and it turns into a little bit of a slugfest where not all things are working. It's not all roses and flowers, but we've got to find a way to get it done. I was proud of our guys, and that there was never any panic or anything like that on the sidelines. We were communicating very well, no pointing fingers and things like that, to where when it came down to making plays, we made the plays when we needed to.
Yeah, that's what impressed me, Will, on that first play when South Carolina scores. The whole bench, no one on the bench was frustrated. Everybody was like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get this going.
Right.
And you talked about the crowd. It got loud then, but to me, outside of that maybe first quarter, the loudest cheer we heard the rest of the day was when the end of the Tennessee-Georgia game was on the big screen. And that, I think, is a testimony to the way you guys controlled the game. Maybe you didn't score a ton of points, but you – frankly, we're in control of the game the whole rest of the way.
And it was a little bit of an uncharacteristic game for us in that, we're predominantly a big play offense, and we did have our one of our big plays with a long touchdown run by Trey. And but other than that, we sustained long drives and we controlled the time of possession. I'm not exactly sure what the split was between that, but I know that we had some long drives, that didn't necessarily always end up in touchdowns, whether it was a field goal or, we had the turnover on downs or the interception in the red zone that we had. But we still controlled the ball, controlled the line of scrimmage, which was something that we wanted to do going into the game.
And you kind of brought up the red zone. I thought going in that was so important. One of the reasons is because South Carolina played close football games because they didn't allow touchdowns in the red zone. And for you guys to punch it in 4 touchdowns your first 2 trips in the red zone, that proved pretty key in winning the game.
And that's one of the main points of emphasis that we've had ever since the Auburn game, and that we need to be better at situational football, whether it's converting on 3rd downs, converting on 4th downs, or scoring points when we're in the red zone, and not necessarily just scoring points, but getting 6, getting 7, rather than just kicking field goals every time we get inside the 25. Because in some of these SEC games, it didn't necessarily hurt us against Auburn and against South Carolina, but going forward against some of these other teams that we're going to play, we're going to need touchdowns to win these football games. And field goals, kicking 3, 4, 5 field goals in a game isn't going to cut it. Isn't going to do the job for us. Yeah. So that's one of the things that we've been working on in our practices is more of a red zone focus and situational football.
Mm-hmm. Connor McQueen with us here on the Red Zone here on Studio 12, getting you set for A&M and Tennessee at Kyle Field on Saturday. Connor, one thing I've always been impressed with Coach Sumlin, he never makes excuses about injuries. They preach constantly, hey, all right, if someone's out, who's the next guy up? Let's go. To see a guy like, and I could give multiple examples, but, as A&M was what you would maybe say shorthanded a little bit on Saturday, to see a guy like a Jeremy Tabuyo step up and make some big plays probably doesn't surprise you. You see him do it every day in practice. But, how proud are you of maybe like a guy like him or some of these other guys that stepped up and made some big plays when – some of the guys that usually play in front of them weren't available.
Right. Oh, it was awesome. And after the Arkansas game, we knew that we were going to have some guys out. We didn't know exactly who was going to play and who wasn't going to play, but that was the thing that we preached from Monday on throughout the week is if we have established a standard that this football team wants to play at, and whether you're Myles Garrett or you're a guy that just working into the rotation, we expect the same amount of production out of each and every guy because that's what we expect going forward. And, I was really proud of guys, like Coylin Cunningham, James Lockhart for stepping in there. Coda Martin got his first start at right tackle in this game. And Jeremy also, did a great job. I'll brag on Jeremy a little bit. He worked out. He's changed positions 3 different times this year at wide receiver. And, he worked a whole lot before the Auburn game because he was going to be a part of that game plan. And he actually didn't play a single play against Auburn. And, he could have taken that as a shot to him or as a hit to him and, gotten disheartened because, obviously you want to play and we're all competitors and we work so hard in the offseason that, it does hurt a little bit when we don't get the opportunity to go out there and play and do what we love on Saturdays. But he was a great teammate about it and, didn't complain, didn't whine, stayed the process, changed positions again. And what do you know? He's out there. He was one of our leading receivers this past week and, had the awesome one-handed catch. And,
that thing was sweet.
Oh, I know. he multiple 3rd down conversions. So, I don't know if we wouldn't have done near as well without him. He helped us win that football game, and he's now gained more trust in the coaching staff. So where I think further on throughout the year, he's going to get more opportunities to play at different positions, and especially since he's now learned three of the 4 receiver spots. I think he's set himself up well going forward as well as the rest of the guys that played this week.
And well, that's just yet another weapon that the Aggies, Noel Mazzoni, Trevor Knight and company can go at another team with.
Right.
Is he the fastest on the team?
Jeremy?
Yeah.
One of the. I don't think but I think he's definitely up there.
Behind you, of course, right?
Well, you, Jeremy, and who are the other candidates?
I don't race those guys. Okay. I don't like to,
You embarrass them.
I race them.
You just tell them.
I race them during summer workouts, especially whenever they're tired. That's usually whenever I run against them. But
candidates with Jeremy for
Speedy, of course.
Appropriately named.
Yep. Christian.
Christian.
Armani. Actually, and then Damian Ratley's also.
Really?
He's got some serious top-end speed. But actually right now we have an ongoing competition between all the guys with the GPS monitors.
Yeah.
And so it tracks our top game speeds. And right now Armani Watts has the top game speed of, I think, 22.5 miles per hour, which came in the fourth quarter of the UCLA game.
Wow. And the thing about Armani, he's got great range. He can go sideline to sideline. I mean, he went outside to get Keon Hatcher on the great fourth down stop against Arkansas, but he's just so tech savvy back there at safety. He plays the position almost perfectly, but I didn't know if I associated him with a ton of speed, but I guess that certainly is the case.
He's getting to the ball quick, and I guess I did leave out one name who would be mad if I didn't mention him, Alex Caesar.
There you go.
Who usually has the I think the last couple of weeks he's actually had the fastest speed, but Armani does have the top speed overall throughout the year.
But just to keep going on him, how well is Armani Watts playing the position right now?
Oh,
is it incredible to watch?
It really is. I mean, the type of plays that he's making. I mean, you expect a starting SEC safety to make the plays, make tackles, and be a force not only in the passing game but also in the run fits. But just the solo plays that he's making on his own, where it's the strip, forced fumble, and recovered fumble on the 1 yard line, one-on-one with a running back against Arkansas, or it's the fourth down stop in the open field on the goal line against Arkansas going the other direction, or the batted ball redirect diving interception after he batted the ball away. It's you don't see that anywhere else, to where it's almost where we're spoiled getting to see guys like him and guys like Justin Evans, making plays where it's almost becoming normal for us watching them make these spectacular plays, and these things aren't happening anywhere else, where it's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, because Matt put Armani's diving interception on the front page of the website after the game, and I was on the bus with you, Matt, while you were doctoring the picture to post it. And I'm looking at a still of this, and I'm in awe. I'm kind of like jaw dropped. Wow! Look at that play.
We had to watch it multiple times on film. Just the fact that he's driving on the ball, bats it, redirects, turns around, and leaps horizontal. Just it was very impressive.
Yeah,
I just love the attitude that they're playing with, Armani, Justin, that crowd. I remember watching the team come on the field Saturday, and the South Carolina student section's going, and Armani, he's about the 30-yard line. He just turns and just like, come on, bring it this way. He can't wait. I love that attitude out of a defense because hey, he's going to get burned from time to time. Justin, they're going to get beat. It is what it is, but they flush it and they get right after it, and it's guys I would not want to have to go across the middle or go deep against. That's for sure.
And that's one thing that Coach Chavis preached whenever he first got here in the first meeting that he was in with our defense, is that he was preaching. A lot of the guys laughed when he said it because you don't expect a guy like Coach Chavis to be saying it, but he's preaching swagger. And, the defense having a swagger about him. You can call it whatever you want, confidence, there's a various array of words for that. But, the main thing it comes down to is he's preaching to have that swagger to where, that defense is – no one's going to be able to move the ball in our defense. And that's the mentality that our defense has, and nothing else will be tolerated. And you can see by all 11 guys that are going out on the field at a time – you can see that in their eyes, whether it's a pregame, whether they're running out on the field, they're running off the field after a big stop. It's what they expect, and they're upset, rightfully so. They're mad at themselves whenever they do let up points.
Connor McQueen with us on the Red Zone here, Wednesday edition of Studio 12. And I wanted to ask you two questions about the South Carolina atmosphere. I'll get to the main one in just a second, but the first one, I noticed. LaCamera had just kicked the field goal pretty much to ice it at 24-13, and I think you guys got back to the sidelines, and at that moment, their video board shows the Tennessee Hail Mary. And I see coaches running up and down our sidelines and saying, refocus, guys, we're not finished. We still got to win the game. I mean, did you see the Hail Mary, the Tennessee Hail Mary on the video board? And what was your reaction if you got to see it?
I didn't see it. I just heard the crowd start yelling. I was out by the huddle. I think I was talking to some of the guys about to run down on kick cover, and just kind of talking to some of those guys and yelling a little bit, and then we saw that, and then Coach Banks just starts grabbing guys by the shoulder pads and the jersey, saying, "Hey, refocus! I don't care about that. I don't care about that."
No.
And I was I did see in the timeout before also whenever Georgia had scored a touchdown.
I saw that one
And,
too.
it's seeing that kind of stuff, and it's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Okay,
Yeah.
we have something cool going on here too.
Yeah,
We've got
we
to
are
make sure we're
trying
not
to
getting
win
past
here.
this. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, did you get your fill of Sandstorm?
I
Did
did.
you get
I
enough
did.
of
They
it?
kind of shortchanged you at the start of the game a little
They
bit.
did. They didn't give us quite enough, not quite enough. But I think they saw the kind of energy that we had on our sideline whenever they were playing it. So, I think maybe that was a little bit of a detriment to them playing it going forward.
I can see the music director at Williams Bryce. He's got the binoculars on. He's like, the A&M's got McQueen down there, like kill Sandstorm
That kid's
for the
got.
day.
That kid has
he's got
3
him jacked
towels. He only
up.
has 2 hands, but he's holding 3 towels,
he's-
waving them in there. How is he doing that?
This guy.
got the red hat backwards.
This guy's standing on the bench.
Well, now you gave the pregame huddle fire-up speech before the team breaks and heads into the locker room before kickoff. Probably can't repeat any of what was said.
Right.
I'm sure.
I don't even know what I said. I just, in moments like that, I just, black out, start yelling,
He's kind of like when Will Ferrell debates on Old School.
Right.
You just go,
Just go,
and then
and-
when it's over, like I blacked out.
yeah,
What happened?
What
They're
went on
like,
here?
hey, that was good, man. That was real good. That was awesome. I was like, okay.
That's how you debate. That's
Yeah.
how you fire somebody up right there.
That's great.
Yeah.
But you got to be looking forward to Kyle Field. I know sometimes it doesn't necessarily matter who's on the other sideline, but
Right.
it's a top 10 matchup. Game day's here. CBS is here. The stadium's going to be packed. I'm sure you've seen students already this week around campus
Right.
getting fired up about it. How excited are you to be a part of this game on Saturday? I mean, this is why you come to A&M.
Right.
isn't
Oh,
it?
I know. And, that's one of the reasons why we moved to the SEC is, we want to have these big primetime games in Kyle Field and College Station. So, it's something that we're very excited for. And, we haven't had this first big-time game at home that we've had this year. I mean, UCLA was a very big game,
yeah.
but this is a top 10 matchup. And, being a college football fan my entire life, College Game Day is going to be here, which, I have childhood memories of waking up early on Saturday mornings and watching the entire game day show. So it's, it's pretty cool that, that atmosphere is around campus right now. And, we're real excited, especially playing Tennessee, who, we haven't played in a while. I can't remember the last.
I was there. It was not fun.
Yeah, it was.
It was 2005
We played
Cotton
them in the
Bowl.
05 Cotton Bowl, but the only other time we played them was in the 57 Gator Bowl. So you're talking about
Right.
2 matchups, and none of them have been
Right.
here ever. So,
Right, yeah.
I mean, it'll be fun, let's just say.
Right, and I know, like you said, College Game Day will be here, CBS crew, the primetime game, and, rumors were during the summer, which Trevor confirmed that I'm not sure, he hasn't said anything this week, but Peyton Manning will be here.
Yeah.
And,
Trevor knows when all the big timers are coming, huh? He's got connections.
What's the deal?
Surprise. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and it's for people inside the stadium, people outside the stadium, guys on the field. I'm very excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Did you get Trevor anything for his birthday this week?
I
mean, you can keep it between teammates and friends. That's fine. I just, I
At
didn't
least
know.
a nice card.
I didn't get him a card. I actually saw him walking out of the business school, and I gave him a nice hullabaloo.
Oh, the horn?
On the
Yeah.
horn
Well, there you go.
in the parking lot, and rolled down my window and screamed "Happy Birthday, Trevor!" And about 13 people all turned and started looking and pointing at him.
You knocked him out.
Oh,
There
he
you go.
loves that. He loves that.
That's
We went to eat
phenomenal.
last night, and we made sure that the waitresses and waiters came and sang "Happy Birthday" to him. And
Does
and
he try
Are
to
they
go
getting that-
incognito? Some of the stars on the team, they try to go incognito, low hat, kind of just stealth when they go out in
I
town.
don't just he can't go real stealth. He's a pretty distinguishable guy. I was actually making a joke after they sang him "Happy Birthday." I was like, "Y'all didn't ask us what his name was. Why didn't y'all? How did y'all know his name? That's a little weird." They're like, oh,
They
this
just
guy? Who's this guy?
Drop the Trevor in there. Yeah. Well, Humanak tweeted his full name on the happy birthday. What is Trevor's full name? Isn't it like Tavares?
Or is that just a nickname?
Oh, that's just.
Or is
a
it-
nickname.
okay, I thought it was
something
his
that-
full
that's
name.
You could use it, Will. Use it on
I
the
was gonna
radio.
say,
That's
yeah.
what Trevor does. Trevor, he'll just make up random names
Yeah.
for guys and call them by just fictitious full name. So
This
that
was fake. It wasn't full. Yeah.
Trevor's name is not Tavares. No, it's not Tavares.
What is this? I thought that was something great there. That nice
No,
little
that
nugget
makes,
on it.
remind me of the old Astros center fielder. Willie
And your full
Tavares.
name is not
Yeah.
Canarius?
It's not Canarius.
No?
That is incorrect.
Okay.
Your sources are wrong there.
All right.
It wouldn't be the first time for Will, that's for sure.
I'm gonna have to do a lot of rearranging of the notes I have on this next game. But well, thanks for joining us early this week. Again, we have no show on Friday, so the Red Zone here on Wednesday on Studio 12. Thanks for the time as always.
Oh yeah,
Connor.
appreciate y'all having me.